The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys!
This is the Players Lounge, broadcasting live from Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star. Now, your hosts, Barry Church, Danny McCray, Heckma Harrison, and Newey Scruggs.
Recording live from the SWBC Mortgage Studios. Yeah. You got to be feeling good about this. This is what. How long do we get to enjoy this? It's Victory Tuesday.
It is a Tuesday.
It's Victory Tuesday, and you are now rocking with the best. This is the Players Lounge, sponsored by Tostitos, the official chip and dip of the Dallas Cowboys. And y'all know me, I stay with my dogs like Shaggy, and they are here.
Hey.
My dogs are here.
I ain't gonna back down.
Wait a minute. This is a safe place. Everything is good here. It's all good, guys.
It's the last place.
To my right, my man D-Mac in the place to be. Survivor.
Hello.
Former Chicago Bear and Dallas Cowboy. Danny McCray is up in here.
You have like it's a great intro, but you could like leave the Bears out of it.
Yeah, you know what? Wait a minute. Let me tell you something. I wouldn't give a damn if it's the Los Angeles Juggernauts. Yeah, I'd be, hey, if you're Heckma Harrison with the Los Angeles Juggernauts, you better call their name.
They ain't in the playoffs.
Hey, man, whatever, man.
Cowboys, baby, let's go.
All good. We're going to get to your other boys in a minute.
There you go.
But across from me, my man BC is in the place to be.
I'm in this thing, man.
Former Jacksonville Jaguar and former Dallas Cowboy Barry Church. 42 is up in here. And guys, look, before we get to business, per normal, we always check out. How's everybody? Whether the Cowboys' victory last night had something to do with how the spirit that you're feeling right now. But D-Mac, I'm going to start with you. I'm going to say this guy for lack. I just want to check him too. But what about you, brother? How are you feeling today?
I feel good, man. I feel good. Cowboys won. Joe Burrow got a dub.
Man, wasn't that something?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, we found a school, so little girl will be going to school. I have a house to myself every once in a while. You know, so if I go home early, I can chill. So I'm happy. I'm happy. Man. I got no.
That's when the Lord's just smiling on you when you got stuff like that going on in your life.
You winning?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Barry Church. If I knew your middle name, I'd call you by your middle name, right? I call you by your middle name, right? Hey. Barry Xavier Church. What's going on, Church?
Nah, man. Things are all right, man. Things are all right. Outside of football, things are amazing. You know, family doing great and all that good stuff. But, you know, we got some things to discuss. And it wasn't a good weekend for your boy. It wasn't my picks. Yeah, we'll talk about it, but it wasn't a good weekend for your boy.
You made a left. You made a left on your picks.
Yeah, should have made a right.
Made a left.
The next thing you know, I'm here.
He's picking with his heart.
Yeah, it was.
That's mine.
Hey, man, look, we all fall victim to that sometime, but it's all right, man. This is a redemptive podcast. So by the end of this podcast, your spirit gonna be back up here, BC. We gonna lift you back up, brother, because that's what brothers do for one armor.
No, he gonna try to knock your spirit down.
I know, but you know I can't ready for that. I can't ready for that.
Already
I'm armored up. I'm armored. They don't understand. I come armored up every day, D-Mac. But D-Mac, let's get down to what we really need to talk about. Last night in Tampa Bay, unless you were sleeping under a rock, the Dallas Cowboys went to Tampa Bay and dominated.
Yeah,
I would say
absolutely.
So.
They
dominated?
They dominated.
The Tampa Bay Bucks in a wild card game, and I think for all of the talk that went into this week about the Cowboys not winning a playoff game on the road for 30 years, and God forbid playing in the blue jerseys, and God forbid the blue jerseys, but going on the road, winning a playoff game, Mike McCarthy's job is in the ether. They're just offering him up, right? Dak Prescott's legacy. Everything is we're talking about. Michael Parsons not worth it. All of these things going into this week, man, just made Cowboy Nation feel as though this team really didn't have a chance. But the Cowboys got off the bus, came through Raymond James Stadium, and beat the brakes in the undercarriage on Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Bucks. Danny McCray, I'm going to let you take this because my guy over here got some explaining to do, Lucy, because I want him to explain what happened yesterday. D-Mac, what was your estimation? What did you think about the offense and the explosion yesterday?
Let me tell you something, all right? As I've been saying the entire year, okay, Dak Prescott plays his best when the team is running the ball and playing defense. What did we do? 128 yards rushing last night. Defense shutting Tom Brady out. All right. And guess who else became a part of the running game? Finally, Dak Prescott.
Finally.
When you look around the league and you see quarterbacks that are successful right now, they are mobile quarterbacks, not just running quarterbacks like Lamar, who can run 4.5 and 4.4 and all that stuff. They extend plays and they make you pay for it when you run coverages like two-man or cover one when all the defensive backs have their back to the quarterback. He can take off for a first down.
Ty Bowles? We're going to talk about Ty Bowles here in a minute, too.
Yeah.
But Ty Bowles brought a lot of pressure. He brought a lot of pressure. Dak Prescott maneuvered around the pressure and ran for those first down. Those 7 runs, half of those were for the chains.
Yeah, they was listen. He played a lot of zone and he brought a lot of pressure. And they figured it, and they knew everything. So whatever light switch came on, because I'm not gonna let you sit and act like the light switch was on the whole season. Whatever light switch came on in Dak for the last 5 weeks of the season till yesterday, leave that on. Because that's not the Dak Prescott we have been seeing outside of the Philly game. We have been seeing something totally different. And we were all sitting here saying, we know you better than this, bro. We know you better than this. That's why we are so down on it, because we like, what are you giving us? We know exactly what you can do. And yesterday, he returned back to Dak Prescott. And I will tell you this, if he continues to use his legs to not only extend plays, but to get first downs, that makes us even more dangerous on offense. And I think that'll help us going into next week, which I'm sure we'll get into. But I'm hyped, man. Defense, offense, everything except the dang on kicker. But
we're gonna get that too. We're gonna get that too. But Barry Church from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. You did pick Tampa Bay.
I did,
and a lot of your confidence had to do with that defense as well. You had Vita Vea, Hicks, the guys that they had up front, the secondary, the linebackers, all of that. When you saw the Cowboys' performance, at what point in the game last night did you go, they cooking right now?
I would have to say it was probably that second series, man.
Second series.
First series, they went 3 and out. I'm like, all right, my picks is looking all right. But when you talk about the trenches, man, and what that offensive line was able to do for Dak Prescott and this offense, I mean, it was amazing. Dak played outstanding. You highlighted it all. He knew what defenses they was in. His ball placement was on point. I mean, he wasn't missing out there. But to me, what stood out the most about that offense was that offensive line. I mean, those guys gave that man time. Outside of that first 2 plays when Vita Vea was getting back there, they gave my man time to do whatever he wanted to do. And then you talk about the running game. They were able to open up these holes, and Tony Pollard, they better not let him get out the building. They can't let that man get out the building, because he's proved to me yesterday. He was doing it all season, but he proved to me yesterday not only does he have that speed, but he can run between the tackles. He can break some tackles and fall forward out there. So they can't let that man get out the building. But when you go back to this offense, man, that offensive line did an amazing job out there. Tyler Smith, the young guy, Peters, before he got injured, was doing his work out there. And Biotish coming back at the center position was huge, because it looked like, they were all working as a unit out there. So offensively, they did their thing. I'll give them props to that. But why I picked Tampa Bay was, I figured that secondary for the Dallas Cowboys, they would play off. I figured with the injuries they had out there, the ups and downs that they had at cornerback number 2, you had Xavier Rose coming out of nowhere to play for this team. I figured, all right, they're going to play off coverage, and Tom Brady's just going to kill him with 1,000 cuts. Dan Quinn did the exact opposite. All right, and shout out to Israel Mukuamu, because that boy played his butt off at the nickel position. But he pressed those guys. He got in their face. I'm talking about Mike Evans, Godwin, whoever was out there. They had the confidence in their secondary.
You see, you taking a whole second segment right now.
My bad. I'll go past it then. I'll go past that.
No, not even go out faster. We're going to get to the defense.
Yeah.
All of those.
We're going to
go offense. But I'm telling you, you just took all the meat.
My bad. I'll wait for the defense to the second segment. But offensively,
He's trying to do the Eminem on us right now.
I'm giving y'all. I said I was wrong.
Tell these people something they don't know know about me.
Dak Prescott did his thing, man. He did his thing, man. He played outstanding. So
I got one more because you said you can't let Tony Pollard get out the building. I'm leaning more toward Schultz? Another guy who you might not be able to let get out this Schultz? Absolutely. Okay. Think about him in the last few games of the season, and then what he looked like when Dak was out, and what he looked like when he was healthy and Dak was back in.
Right. Did his thing.
This is and before I get off the rails, because there's so much I want to talk about with this game, but defensively, Todd Bowles, to me, when I looked at his game plan, I said, damn, Todd, you playing Dak like he, second year in the league. Yeah. You talked about specifically him allocating extra men to the line of scrimmage. You knew that he was going to try and take away the running game. Mm-hmm. But he stayed with 7-8 man boxes. He did not adjust from that at all. He lived and died with that. At any point did you say, especially with the way that Dak was picking them apart in the secondary, did you question his game plan looking at that? Yes. Because obviously you knew he was going to do it, but did you say, "Oh, damn, it's time to make adjustment"?
I ain't gonna lie to you. I was sitting there watching. I say, man, Todd Bowles, you gonna play some more man to man? Like at some point, you just got to sell out everybody because every time he ran zone, Dak was on him. Mm-hmm. No, cover 2, cover 3, cover 4, any zone that they ran, it was a big time play for Dak Prescott. He read it, he made the right throw, right decision, and the ball was on point. And I'm like, hey man, at some point, before I let a guy do this to me, I'm gonna bring one extra, and then we just gonna play man to man, and that's the way you're gonna have to beat us. And if we lose like that because your guys are better than ours on every snap, or more snaps than that, as much zone coverage as they play, then that's the way we lose. We already getting beat anyways, but we just kept seeing them. Hey man, we seen Devin White dropping out to the curl. We seen guys dropping. I said, man, what is going on? Like, what type of I'm in my mind. I'm like, did he not have the faith in his team to play man-to-man versus our guys? And if that's the case, then okay. But yeah, it was a little confusing.
That's funny. I saw it the exact opposite. I was like, he is arrogant as hell. He gonna live it down that hill. But what'd you think about that?
I think they thought about it too much. They were too cute out there. I mean, if you look at it from what they were running, the touchdown to CeeDee Lamb when he was scot-free, why in your mind would you have your defensive end? I believe his name is Tryon, number 9.
Yes.
Why you got him lined up on the best receiver on the field? Like CeeDee Lamb cooking your defensive back, so you going to line your defensive end up to play him? Like the man was lined up at number 3. Everybody else was, man-to-man coverage. You could see it. And I just think he got too cute for himself. Yeah, let me disguise this over here. And Kellen Moore and Dak Prescott picked that man apart. Like we seen it the first game of the year. It was just nothing. We're blitzing. We're coming down here. We're going to play man on the back end and let's go. Here, he was just doing too much. I'm going to trick him with this. I'm going to drop this guy at defensive end over here, but I'm going to bring this guy. Man, it was just, he got too cute for himself, and Dak and Kellen Moore, they exposed him.
Easy throws, too.
Easy throws.
No jam off the ball. Boom. 10-yard slant here. CeeDee Lamb, cover 2, get behind the linebacker. Boom, right on point with that one. I'm like, bro, he sees it.
He sees it, man.
So now you got to figure something else out. But I'm not going to say to his credit, but like I said, if I'm watching Dak this entire season, I'm going into the game saying, "Oh, this is our path to success." Yeah. He ain't reading this stuff right during the season. We don't know what's wrong with him. He can't figure it out. So let's do what these other teams did. And like I said, the light switch came on where the way Dak Prescott played last night, it was obvious that he was playing like there was no tomorrow. Yeah. Not sliding, diving over guys. He slid one time, I think, at the end of the game, like in the second half. But other than that, he was the old Dak, like almost running over guys, doing whatever he had to do to get the score. Kind of that, like, hey man, follow me, play like me. Mm-hmm. If your quarterback is gonna put it on the line and get out there and try to block guys, you know what I'm saying, in the running game down there in the red zone, then you guys should be able to give 100% as well. And I think the team followed him. But that's the type of Dak. That's the $40 million Dak Prescott. Yeah. Like, you got to do both, man. You got to use your legs and you got to be on your P's and Q's. And I think, another total game from Dak. So shout out to him.
No, and I appreciate what you said prior to that about him not looking his best in the previous weeks, because we saw a lot of bonehead throws and things that we questioned, decision-making things. Last night was Dak being deliberate about everything that he did on the field. And he made it a point to not turn the ball over. Can not turning the ball security be a decision? Yeah. But
he tried.
He tried.
That deep shot, I was like, bro.
Right. But that was gambling at that point in the game. But I love what you're talking about. This is not playing with reckless abandon, but also understanding that these yards count. And that's why we need Newy Scruggs in here talking about inches and all of that stuff. This would be a perfect segue for that, by the way. But you saw him battling to that degree. But a guy that I want to talk about that you mentioned, Dalton Schultz. Dalton Schultz yesterday showed you why this team was willing to tag him and give him that money. All right. Any other situation, right? Maybe you trade a guy, cut a guy, whatever it is, especially if you feel like you got something better behind him. But Dalton Schultz is seriously right now playing himself, if not here, somewhere else, playing for a serious payday. He is wide open. And especially, he should have had 3 touchdowns. I know, did y'all see on the one where Dak ran it in?
Oh, yeah.
Dalton Schultz was right there, literally wide open. The linebackers, nobody lost him. And Dak just didn't throw it to him. He ran it in himself because that whole edge was open. But just talk about Schultz and his influence on these games.
Look, I feel like, this guy, he stepped his game up leaps and bounds. Now, when we talked about earlier in the season, he was also playing with Cooper Rush, which, he was hurt. He was hurt. So he ain't going to have his full potential out there. But with the return of Dak Prescott, you see this guy is incredibly smart, in my opinion. That's what sticks out most about him to me. Not his, athletic ability, his dynamicness, none of all that. He's just unbelievably smart. He understands zone concepts. Where's the weakness going to be at? Let me sit down here. Like you see a lot of the times these young wide receivers, young tight ends, when they're doing crossing routes, they're just running right into the next zone.
Right.
They're not even looking to see. You see this guy, he's running. Oh, there's a defender in front of me. Let me sit down here, sit right here in this hole, get the catch, give you 5, give you 10 yards.
Right.
He was able to do that. I mean, this guy, he's become a security blanket. I'm not going to sit here and say, he's a top 3 tight end out there as far as being dynamic and do all these different things. But the guy is extremely, extremely solid out there. And you're right here. He made himself a lot of money, whether it's here or somewhere else in the offseason. The guy's played himself into a heck of a contract.
Yeah, I gotta say, based off what I said earlier in the season, where it was like, hey man, you can't line him up at number 1, probably not number 2 because he's probably not going to be able to get open. I think I was wrong.
Yeah,
you think you can line him up out there on a DB?
I think depending on whatever, he's not a guy that's just going to always be in the core. I think you can line him up if a team's running zone. He can run his routes from number 1. And you know what I'm saying, and be able to do that. He's not just an in the core type of guy. And then also what you see is his ability to sometimes go over the top of guys that make catches.
You see that.
So he can't, it ain't just like he has to be wide open for him to do it, security. So he is a security blanket. But when you need a guy to go make a play, hey, my guy is better than yours, he's shown this year that he is better than some of those guys. And he can go up over the top of you in the red zone, or like yesterday, hey, man, I got to concentrate. This ball's still going up in the air, and I got to figure out a way to come down with it. That was a hell of a catch. The concentration that you need to make a catch like that in that type of moment is huge. Yeah. So I'm going to say this. Yeah, Dalton, I don't know if you let him get out of here. Because now what? Dak got to find another rapport with the young guys? This is a Jason Witten, Tony Romo type of thing, but 2.0 at this point of like how you seeing this guy play for the last 3 games. He's my fantasy tight end, just so you know. 2, he was the leading last night leader receiver, 2 touchdowns. This is a away game we ain't won in 30 years with the blue jerseys on. Dalton showed up, all right? I'm just saying.
The beat 'em up blues is what we're going to call them. It's the beat 'em up blues is what we went out there with. And who want to talk about Major Tuddy and the Commanders?
Are we
Silence! Silence! No, never mind. They beat us. Nobody want to talk about it. Nobody want to talk about it. No, you know what I'm talking about. No, you know what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
They beat us.
No.
What are you talking about?
This in the week. Whatever.
Yeah.
All right.
Why would you even bring that up?
Hold on.
They beat them. It's red right here.
I'm sorry.
He's hype right now.
I'm sorry.
Hey, it's red.
Let me.
Major Tuddy danced on the Cowboys last week.
The skinnies and the butters. The boy had the skinnies and the butters on.
Let's come back. All right.
Yes. Yeah, we won this week. Come back.
What we're going to do now is we're going to take our first break, and we're going to return with more Players Lounge, sponsored by Tostitos.
Boy got the butters on.
With Smoothie King's original Angel Food and new Angel Food Slim without added sugar, you no longer have to choose between treating yourself and hitting your goals this summer. You don't have to choose between great taste and feeling great. Because at Smoothie King, every blend is made with whole fruits and no syrups, so you can satisfy your cravings without compromise. The only choice you will need to make is which one is best for you. Try our classic angel food or the new angel food slim, blended without added sugar. Smoothie King, rule the day.
Attention Cowboys fans looking for the best shave of your life. There's a new official razor of the Dallas Cowboys, Shave Logic. Imagine not having to buy blades as often and getting more smooth shaves than your old razor, guaranteed or your money back. After more than 10 years of research and over 150 company patents, Shave Logic is proud to offer Cowboys fans a special offer. For a limited time, visit shavelogic.com and get a free $10 gift card with your purchase. Go to shavelogic.com now for more smooth shaves guaranteed.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. You hear that? I'm a torrential downpour. Torrential? What's that even mean? It means you can't see out of your windshield. And if you have the wrong car insurance, you might have to make it rain to fix your bumper. So switch to Allstate, save money, and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Based on coverage and limits selected, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Allstate Bar and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
And they snap it to Prescott, who looks right. It's not there. He escapes left. He'll run for a first down.
Just like football, when it comes to crypto, it's important to have a team you can trust. With blockchain.com, I know I'm in good hands. Since 2011, they've been trusted by millions around the world to buy, sell, and trade cryptocurrency.
Prescott's going to run this himself. Run it up the middle, and he scores.
Whether you're new to crypto or an active trader, they've got you covered. What are you waiting for? Get started at blockchain.com.
Back to the Players Lounge.
This is how we country music party of the year is coming to the Ford Center at the Star in Frisco. The Academy of Country Music Awards are always bringing you country music's brightest stars together under one roof, and no one does it country like Texas. Witness history on May 11th. Get your tickets at SeatGeek.com. Back in action here on the Players Lounge. Barry Church.
Yes, sir.
Danny McCray.
Are we looking to the future now? Huh? I don't want you to just slip back into the past. If you slip back into the past, at least go to a good game. Go to Minnesota.
Not just go to. I went through all last week. And I wanted to talk about Tampa a little bit, but I kept being reminded of how bad we were. I'm sorry. It's trauma. It's trauma.
So
I was trauma. I was trauma projecting.
If that's the case for the rest of the week, if that's how you want to move forward on the Players Lounge, that means you can't say nothing about Tampa when we talking about San Francisco.
I say whatever I want to.
You see what I'm saying?
What are you talking about?
So we can't talk about Washington.
I didn't say that. I didn't say you couldn't talk about them. I said I was trauma projecting because last week all we did was talk about all you gonna talk about this week? Commanders. The Red Commanders.
I didn't say it.
The Red Commanders. Now look, here's the thing. You got the victory in part because of your defense and the way that they played. We went all last week talking about what the hell we going to do at the cornerback position. What are we going to do at the cornerback position? And I think a lot of your questions were answered through the play of Bland, Mukwamu, and Xavier Rhodes. Yeah. Now, there was a little bit of a hiccup there with Xavier, but we got back on track.
All good.
But you guys, as being secondary guys, what were your impressions of the secondary and the job that they did last night?
I thought they played well. I love Dan Quinn. I love the defense. I love all that. I'm gonna say this: Tom Brady played like absolute garbage last night. Yeah, throws was all over the place. He wasn't making the right read. None of that was right. But for the way he played, and then the guys we had out there, like Xavier Rhodes off the street, Akwamu. Yeah. This what I appreciated about his play. He was going to make them call the penalty because he was going to grab and hold and do whatever he could. But he was going to make sure that because of physical play. Hey man, Jerome Henderson used to tell us that. Hey man, make them throw it. As a matter of fact, wear gloves the same color as their jersey so you could get that little pull. And they don't call that type of stuff. And he played physical with the guys. And he did his thing. So I was actually pleasantly surprised with the way that they played, considering who they were going against with Mike Evans and Godwin and Tom Brady. So it's a positive. It's a positive. You got to continue to get better. Rhodes is his first time being out there. So, yeah, but still, they play well enough.
Yeah, they did to get the job done.
And let me say this, man. I was with you at rookie OTAs, and we were just watching drills. And you said, hey, man, who is this number so-and-so? And I was Izzy Mukwamu. And you said, man, that –
I tried to tell Cass.
No helmets on. Hey, This guy right here, I could just tell by the way he moving that I'm just sorry. I don't know how the hell you saw that, but anyway, Coach Church, what'd you think about your prodigy?
Nah, man, I was like you said, I was high on Mukwamu since I seen him at that rookie minigame. Just the way he's able to move, and they told me he was playing safety, and I'm like, oh man, you got hips like that, you got feet like that, able to break, man. It's gonna translate into a good ball player. But I'm pleasantly surprised at how that secondary played. Game plan wise and what they did on the field, because I thought for sure, I'm like, man, ain't no way they gonna risk playing up and press coverage on these receivers that they got when they, so many injuries out there. I'm like, there ain't no way. And Tom Brady just gonna pick them apart while he sits back there. But that wasn't the case. Like you said, Mukwamu, Diggs, Bland, they were all extremely physical out there, throwing that timing off between Mike Evans and Godwin and Brady and all those guys. And what helped out a lot is the return of your boy. Your boy came to play. The big briefcase, bazooka part, whatever you want to call him. He affected the game in so many different ways, whether it was knocking down those short screen passes or getting after Brady, pressuring him. But Brady last night, man, he looked like a guy that was afraid to get hit. Like guys were coming in his face like, he's short arm and stuff. You saw the interception by what's my buddy Curse in the back of the end zone. Brady thought he was gonna have it enough, but he was so scared about getting hit, he kind of hunched over and threw it. And next thing you know, it was an interception. So kudos to the defense, Dan Quinn's game plan. They played unbelievable football out there, and they on to the next round.
Yeah. Because I want to actually give Leighton Vander Esch an honorary member of the secondary, because last night they had him in that Tampa too. And he was getting. You see it. The fact that we missed Leighton Vander Esch that much lets you know how valuable he is. And I'm going to continue to go back to this. There was a point in time where we thought Leighton Vander Esch and Jalen Smith were going to be the linebackers of the future here. Mm-hmm. Leighton Vander Esch still here. Jalen Smith is out there playing in New York. So they still got it. They still the guys. And Leighton Vander Esch showed why he was missed and why it affected our defense so much by the way he played last night, because he did his thing, man.
And if you think about what you're saying 2 years ago, if someone said that, they would say, man, please. Because that was the perception of him around here. Like, man, you didn't know what you had left in him, especially after that rookie season that he had. I think so much about Leighton Vander Esch is about getting guys lined up, assignment, things like that. He is the quarterback on defense. I know we talk about Jerron Kearse and his imprint and what he has in the secondary, but Leighton Vander Esch, you could tell the defense is completely different with him out there, especially from a run standpoint. Now, I go back to what you said. That's the same guy that was out there with Tampa with it. It's the same guy that was out there with these other, the same guy.
Him and Haskins.
But him and Haskins. But it was something about having them back. And, guys, this is, we talk about healthy scratches all the time. But when you guys saw that the healthy scratches from yesterday, did you not like Gallimore, Bohannon, Nashawn Wright?
That surprised me.
Like, did any of that, when you was like, whoa, did that take you aback?
Man, because I'm looking, we doing the show, and during the show we do our pregame show, we do our inactive list.
Yes.
And they put it out there, and like you said, Bohanna, Gallimore, Wright, Mullins. I mean, and I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, I was surprised about the corners, because you think with all those injuries, you're gonna need all hands on deck. So I figured, all right, man, you gotta suit all your corners. Those two guys sitting out, I'm like, all right. But then you got Gallimore and Bohanna out there, and I'm just like, man, I thought for a minute Gallimore was going to be that guy.
He did.
And I'm like, it's looking like he may not even be on the squad next year. I mean, it goes to show you that anything can happen. I mean, as far as, you could be up one time and down another time. And I just want to know what did the coaches see in that game plan that they were like, all right, those two guys ain't going to affect it? Because you think you got to have somebody in the middle to hold it down. But I guess the return of Haskins, Carlos Watkins and Golston, mm-hmm. Those guys must have, did something during that week to show them that they don't need those two guys, because I was surprised.
I'll tell you what's happening. They were seeing Gallimore get dug out of there. That's what was happening. I mean, you were seeing 96 get turned around, blocked sideways. It was a lot of that. I mean, it would show up on film. It'd be glaring. But then you'd also see a guy like Chauncey Golston, who was inactive, a healthy scratch for a lot of the season in situations, come in and ball.
Yeah, he did his thing.
And came in and played like a guy that was trying to make the most of his opportunities. And you got to credit Dan Quinn with realizing, like, look, this guy's I'm going to ride the hot hand. I'm not going to allow a guy to continue to fail me in the interior. As soon as Hankins is healthy, You up, big fella. Yeah. And him and Carlos Watkins are two guys in the interior of this defense that I really believe allow for guys like Anthony Barr and Leighton Vander Esch to just flow freely. They are going to need that so much this Sunday. Oof. That part of their game is going to be pivotal if the Dallas Cowboys are going to play for an NFC championship. Yeah. Period. The end. Because that's where I believe San Francisco, and I'm not even trying to transition to that. I'm just saying, I just know that that's the truth. You know, we're going to have to play that much stronger in the inside. But getting back to a bright spot to make me feel better. The big briefcase, the bazooka.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he did his
Number
thing,
11.
Man.
Number 11. He did his thing.
Spin moves, all that.
Yeah,
he said he felt as healthy as he felt all season. It's playoff time. He showed up.
I mean, guys, how do you go from looking like you could barely walk through certain situations to now all of a sudden this man looked like he was playing with a whole nother speed? He didn't look like that in Washington.
Not at all. And I was shocked because, like you said, I seen Washington. I'm like, all right, they're gonna be double teaming him. There's no way he's gonna be able to affect the game stats wise. I mean, he's just gonna be out there. And man, this dude, like, to have the wisdom at such a young age as far as football is concerned, to go in there, all right, I'm not going to get to the quarterback, this time. Let me get my hands up. Let me affect the game in so many different ways. And he was able to do that. I mean, you see some of the greats out there, they may not get all the sacks this game, but they're affecting it somehow, some way, whether it's pressures, batted down balls, turnovers, something. Yeah. And you see it. I mean, no matter what's going on, all right, you want to take me away from the quarterback by double teaming me? I'm going to bat these balls down. I'm going to go ahead and strip somebody. This dude, man, he showed up. He showed up in a big way.
Yeah, that's hell of a film study by him, Dan Quinn, and the defense to know that Chris Godwin has caught the most catches behind the line of scrimmage for receivers. Yeah. So you already know that those screen passes are coming when you're rushing off the edge. So whatever sign they got to be able to realize that, hey, man, I need to get my hands up for whenever Tom Brady's trying to throw these short passes, shout out to them. Also, this man, Michael Parsons, bro. Just the moves that you're able to see him. Like, when you say, all right, he's going to play edge this week, and he has to make sure that the past moves, he has to grow that catalog of what he can do. And every time you watch the game, he's able to do something new. Yeah. And Tampa Bay, shame on y'all for knowing that Michael Parsons is that great. And what you don't want to do is let a guy like that get started. What do they do on the first drive? They don't even block him.
They ain't even block the dude.
Now he ready. Yeah. Now he hype. Yeah. Now I'm here. Yep. And then, for the rest of the game, now you got to deal with it because you ain't frustrated him at all. He know he finna come in here and wreck shop. And he did.
And I question, I'm like, what strategy is that?
Typos call him their prize possession. What do the Cowboys want to do? All they want to do is get you in third down so they can unleash their prize possession. So you already know what he thinks about the guy. Right. So they got to be upset going back to look at that film and say, where did this thing start to go wrong at? Oh, that one right there.
Leave number 11 unblocked. See how that's going to go for you. What is it? Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. That was winning the stupid prize right there. But we're going to take our last break as I'm going to work on Barry Church all week. It's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I got 72 hours to try and get this man to flip his pick on Friday.
Well, my heart hurts you.
We'll see what happens.
My heart hurts you. Oh, so you got to make sure that he got some confidence in the kicker first.
Yeah, buddy.
That's true. Coming back with more Players Lounge after this.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. You hear that? I'm a torrential downpour. Torrential? What's that even mean? It means you can't see out of your windshield. And if you have the wrong car insurance, you might have to make it rain to fix your bumper. So switch to Allstate, save money, and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Based on coverage and limits selected, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Allstate Bar and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
And they snap it to Prescott, who looks right. It's not there. He escapes left. He'll run for a first down.
Just like football, when it comes to crypto, it's important to have a team you can trust. With blockchain.com, I know I'm in good hands. Since 2011, they've been trusted by millions around the world to buy, sell, and trade cryptocurrency.
Prescott's going to run this himself. Run it up the middle, and he scores.
Whether you're new to crypto or an active trader, they've got you covered. What are you waiting for? Get started at blockchain.com.
Want to use what the pros use? How about the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys? Jack Black. Right now, you can get the Jack Black Starter, a curated collection of Cowboys locker room favorites for just $10 with free shipping. The starter includes 4 Jack Black skincare favorites, plus a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Go to getjackblack.com/Cowboys and use the code word TEAMJB. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys. The Jack Black Starter, $10, free shipping.
With Smoothie King's original Angel Food and new Angel Food Slim without added sugar, you no longer have to choose between treating yourself and hitting your goals this summer. You don't have to choose between great taste and feeling great. Because at Smoothie King, every blend is made with whole fruits and no syrups, so you can satisfy your cravings without compromise. The only choice you will need to make is which one is best for you. Try our classic Angel Food or the new Angel Food Slim, blended without added sugar. Smoothie King, rule the day.
Back to the Players Lounge.
Just steps away from the Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters in Frisco. Visit the Star District, your destination for excellent dining, premier shopping, and exciting events. Visit thestardistrict.com for more information. And Players Lounge just rolling right on. And I think we've forgiven Barry Church. But he's going to do it to us again, Cowboy Nation. I'm telling you, I'm working on my man. And right now, he holding firm on where he's going to go next Friday.
Are you talking about for the
Yeah. Hey, we'll see. Hard head makes soft behind.
Cowboys
That's
Nation,
what they
hope
say.
your team wins.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You hit it. Oh, that's it. That's all we needed. That's all we needed. That's it. That's it. That's what we needed right there, baby.
Let me tell you, I think we should all hope for that, and I think we should all hope for a New York Giants victory as well. Because imagine us hosting the NFC Championship game here at AT&T Stadium.
Too much from my heart. It's too much from my heart.
Let's focus. Let's keep our energy like the team should. We're gonna keep our energy on San Francisco.
Okay.
But
Donovan Wilson be smacking.
Oh man, yeah.
Shout out to him.
Oh yeah.
Donovan Wilson be cracking.
I always wonder how the dudes be doing. Boom, he do it every time. Don't even fall down every time.
I don't know, man. He got something different in the shoulder pass.
Man.
It's something different in number 6's shoulder pass than from everybody else. But coming into last week when all the talk was about Mike McCarthy, whether he was going to have his job, if they lost, and blah, 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 and this and that. Mike McCarthy actually went into Monday night and did a hell of a coaching job. Hell of a coaching job. I mean, both of their coordinators, look, on all facets of the game, these guys coach their butts off. Mm-hmm. And I think maybe caught Todd Bowles, these guys in bad situations constantly, and made them pay. What was your impression of Mike McCarthy and the job that he did?
Man, I thought him and Kellen Moore came with a very solid game plan minus the first drive. And I know it happens. Sometimes you take a little risk or whatever. We threw it 3 straight times in the first drive and went 3 and out was 13 seconds. And we came back, and you realize, hey, man, you got to get back to the run. And that is great coaching. Hey, man, if you come out and you think that this is going to work and it doesn't, can we pivot and move on to something else? And you get Tony Pollard involved, start running boots, you get Schultz involved, and that's the most important thing. We always name those 3 guys, all right? You got Schultz on the roster, you got CeeDee Lamb on the roster, you got Zeke and Pollard. Then the other guys get to touch the ball after that, right? And I think they did a good job of getting started with that. Then they got everybody involved. Gallup. They got T.Y. Hilton. You got Noah Brown involved. But it always starts with those guys. And I think they did a hell of a job of calling plays last night against that defense and knowing what Todd Bowles was giving them because they knew it. They read them like a damn book. You talk about Mike Evans saying that our defense is simple. Our offense was looking and said, hold on, we ain't going to say nothing to the camera, but y'all simple as hell. And he made them look that way. So shout out to them, man. Hell of a job by all the coordinators. I know the kicker messed up, but that's one thing I hate about special teams is that you can play great on coverage teams and return units, and the kicker messes up, and what does everybody say? Special teams played bad. It ain't true. It's not true. So outside of the kicker, our special teams did what they needed to do, and shout out to McCarthy because he's the guy. It all starts with him.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely say he did a hell of a job as far as the game plan and all that good stuff. But to me, what stood out the most was getting his team prepared for this game. I mean, because if you look at it, last week against Washington, they weren't ready to play. And then McCarthy came out there, kudos to him, in that post-conference meeting after the Washington game. He said, hey, that wasn't us. We weren't ready. I didn't get my squad ready to play. That wasn't us. Next week we'll be a different team. And kudos to him because he's been doing it all year long.
And that's what they were waiting to see if this team came out flat. The way that they came out in other instances, and they were ready to criticize and pounce on that.
They were ready. And then if you look at it all year long, what has this guy been able to do? Adversity. You lose your quarterback, number one. You lose your Hall of Fame tackle out there. You lose your top 2 corners on the defensive side of the ball. And he's still making these guys come out and give it 100%. And they're always ready to play. I mean, we talked about it in years, and that's one thing with my guy JG. Sometimes, we came out flat. Sometimes we came out flat, and it hurt us in the long run. But with McCarthy this season, last season for the majority of the part, he's had his players ready to roll. And that's all you can ask for from your head coach is making sure these players respond in the right way. And they were able to do that on Sunday or on Monday and come up with a victory.
Shout out to Tyler Smith. Goodness gracious. We didn't bring him up, and you just talked about the O-line and all that stuff. My man goes from left guard to left tackle. You don't miss a beat. Talk about being worth your pick in the first round. Man, they getting everything that they hoped for out of Tyler Smith.
And I love what you're saying because what he does is he makes that transition or he makes that move, and you don't hear about it. So if we're not hearing about you, then that means you're doing the right thing, all right? And it's so much of this offensive line coming into, even though they rattled off those 4 victories before the Commanders, those weren't like victories where you ran away. A lot of it was close, and you saw a lot of that continuity in the offensive line kind of change, especially with Biadasz going down. Him back, and then Peters going out. And your rookie having to make that bump down from out back to left tackle, I think they look good. And I had my questions at the beginning. I'm like, where the hell is Connor McGovern? Why is Connor McGovern not playing? And I guess obviously something during the week told him that, look, we got a better chance with this 5. This is the 5 that we're going to go into the playoffs with. And not to say that Peters did bad, because he didn't. He did a damn good job. But when Smith went back over there, they had a lot more of that mobility that I think that they were missing on the other side with Terrence Steele being out. That stretch run that they run on the outside, when you see T. Smith get outside and get to the second level, number 73 got some wheels.
He can run, man. He can run.
He's a big man, but a big man that's nimble and got quick feet and can get to the second level. This got to be horrible. This guy's 3'13", 6'5", coming right at you.
This is why Lael got paid. Yeah. Lael got paid because what you were seeing with Poole, and he way down the field. So the best tackles or the best offensive linemen in the game, they are able to do that, get to the second level, and they're keeping up with the running backs. You know what I'm saying? So, and you're going to need it this week because you're going up against the best Bosa. So it's a perfect time for our offensive line to find that cohesiveness and get a little confidence in the way that they played last night, because you're going to need it going into this week.
Real quick, Brett Money Maher. We're going to call him Money Maher.
Money what?
Let's let it breathe.
Money.
Brett Money Maher, because this is our guy now. This is our guy. He did something that hadn't been done in a long time. I think it's the 30s, they were saying.
Yeah, 90-something.
Yeah, this is a long time since someone has missed 4 PATs in a playoff game. But he accomplished that in style. And the coaches, and I was thinking about the second one. Like the third one, I was like, all right, that's it.
It's over with.
That's it. Kudos to the coaching staff, I guess, for continuing to send him out there.
Only because you win. That's what you know. Like, we want him out. We have to get this dude's confidence back, because if we don't, then we have to think about if he's going to be on our team next week. So shout out to them for doing it. And we actually needed it, man. That 4th down, it blew the game open.
Wide open.
It blew the game open.
No, it really, 4th and 4, you're talking about the touchdown on 4th and 4. That's crazy. First of all, one, that's just like, it takes some real jugs to do that. 4th and 4, you basically giving that up, especially when the window closes like that. But he has to get fixed. Maher has to get fixed. Yeah. Because you can't go through the rest of the playoffs compromised that way. We know the margin for error in the NFL is 2-3 points. That's a kickoff. And no one had confidence that Maher can go out there and kick a 50-yard field goal?
It's in his head now.
No, I can't. How do you? Come on, we got. Come on, dog. We got 5 days.
He hit the last one, bro.
That should give him a little boost.
Did he get released last year?
Mm-hmm.
Came back, got that out of his mind, and then he had one of his best seasons. All right, so I don't want to.
So we need to cut him today and then bring him back Friday. We need to.
No. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you, he took his medicine yesterday. He's the only game on TV. All right, only game on TV. How many people watching that Cowboys game?
Oh my God!
How many people on Twitter? He taking his medicine right now. All right, so I think you don't got to release him now if you're trying to teach him a lesson. He knows. Peyton Manning was on him last night, and Eli. Everybody was on him. All right, so they got him back in there. He got a little bit of his confidence back and said, "Oh man, I was going through something, but I finished this off with a dang kick and it went in." All right, so.
They be lucky they won though.
No,
if it was a close game,
he would have been back out there.
He missed that thing.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
that would have been that for that on that for Red Maher. That'd have been all she wrote. But I got 72 hours, Cowboy Nation. My man BC. We're going to work on him. I work on him on Twitter. Send him stats. We got to bring this man over to the other side because I already know D-Mac just wolving, man. D-Mac going to pick the Cowboys, man.
Miss Purdy, Miss Purdy.
I don't know.
Miss Purdy.
I can't guarantee
you. You going to do it like that?
No, I'm not going to lie.
I do it by myself. Because I already know what Newey going to do. He already know. Newey going to
come here.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't do that. Newey, I did not do that. That was Barry. But that's it, y'all. That's our time. As Chris Beam lets us know in the background, it's our time. And hang around for more. We got 2:00 tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Y'all perfect attendance all week?
No. I won't be here on Thursday or Friday.
Oh, yeah, he's out here.
So, my perfect attendance gone.
Worldwide crane.
Yeah, I'm in a wedding.
Crane, man.
I got responsibilities to my friends.
At
this time.
Yeah.
Yep.
You gonna mail your pick in? How you gonna do your pick, bruh?
I got a phone. I can tell you that. I'm not going to space. I'll be here.
Perfect attendance, McCray. You see how they do? It's all good. I got you though, dog. I got you though, dog.
They gonna do me
We'll be back. We'll be back tomorrow with more Players Lounge.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!